Hi, it's Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video, something a little bit different. This is a story of basically human goodwill and also an absolute bargain. Now, on today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a graphics card which was ordered off of eBay here in the UK. Now, this was actually flagged up to me by one of our Discord members and also one of the viewers of the channel who wishes to remain nameless at the moment. So if you're watching this, then if you want to make yourself known, please put a comment in the comment section of this video or let me know after it's come out and I'll add your details into it. But this is a true story of human kindness. Now, this is going to be somewhat of a long-winded story. Then we'll get into actually unboxing this and then we'll get on to testing it to make sure it actually works. Because with most things, when a deal looks too good to be true, it kind of generally is. But in this case, I certainly hope it isn't. Now, there was actually 2 of these items available, and the person which has notified me of this deal has the other one, and everything appears to be okay. So in theory, this should be as well, but we don't know until we actually try it. So inside this box is allegedly a PNY GeForce RTX 4080 16 gig XLR8 Gaming Verto Epic X RGB triple fan GPU. Now, the story behind this is it actually came up as a deal on eBay, and my friend, the person who is as of yet unnamed, saw it and thought, yeah, that seems like way too good of a valued product to be actual real, but potentially worth a risk. Now, that person could have actually gone on and ordered both of them because there was actually 2 available, but out of the kindness of their heart, or whether they didn't have the money, I'm not too sure which, but I'm hoping it's the kindness of their heart, the offer was passed on towards me. So, the story behind this is, this was actually listed on eBay UK as the aforementioned RTX 4080 for a starting price of £288.38. Sorry if my eyes are distracted, I've got the details written on my cheat sheet here so I can get the details absolutely correct. Now, at the time, obviously, £288 for a RTX 4080, which was stated as being brand new and sealed, seems way too good to be true. In fact, likely a misprint, like maybe they've missed out a 1 from the front or something like that, being that this card should cost in the region of about £900-ish, possibly more depending on scalping prices and all that kind of stuff that goes on. So if that wasn't good enough, there was also at the time of purchase, which was December the 9th, there was also a 10% voucher on, currently on eBay. So that actually removed £28.84 from the price, bringing it down to an amazing total of £259.54, which is ironically the same price that I've just paid for an Intel Arc B550 Founders Edition card, which is obviously not going to be performing quite as well, possibly as an RTX 4080. So with this in mind and time running out and there being only 1 left, I thought, well, what the hell, let's give it a go. With eBay, you do have certain buyer protections, such as obviously you can get your money back, and also if you use PayPal, you get some protections there as well. So I figured, what the heck, let's give it a go. What's the worst going to happen? I lose my money for a couple of weeks or something, and then hopefully it gets returned. Now, as you can probably tell, due to the fact that Dave is currently sleeping on this box, he can sniff out a bargain from a mile away, this boy. And he's been cuddling up on it. So I haven't opened this yet, although I will say the packaging did arrive and the tape was very loose, and as you can see, Dave is somewhat, well, yeah, kind of sinking into the package. So I think the best thing to do is if we remove Dave from the equation briefly and open this box and see if the graphics card is actually in there. That is going to be the first thing to do. So let's do that. Okay, so now I've got both cameras running, got this one and also the overhead as well, so hopefully this will all be visible. So as you can see, the box is looking a little bit worse where I have removed some of the labels off it, which were shipping labels, obviously with my address, etc. But other than that, I haven't touched this. So let's get something a little bit sharp and we'll cut open the sellotape. Make life a little bit easier. So yeah, not really much more I can do there. So let's see what is actually in here other than cat hairs. So in terms of packaging, hopefully you can see that pretty well on the overhead there. It's basically full of paper and actually weirdly warm paper. Thanks for that, Dave. So this will be really handy for lighting our wood burner. But it does appear that inside of the box, if I turn this round and get rid of this, clear the desk, it does appear that we do have in fact a box for a GeForce RTX 4080, the PNY version, and it would appear at first glance is that we have actually what is supposed to be in the box. And there's a couple of scratches I've noticed on there, and there's also a label which has been peeled off here. Maybe it's a refurbished one, I don't know. They did state it as being new, and if we have a look, there is actually still the tape on the box, so potentially this is going to be okay. Well, there you go. It feels heavy enough. It is a GeForce RTX 4080 box, so I think the best thing to do is if we cut off the tape and have a look and see what is actually inside and see what condition the video card is actually in. It's actually quite exciting. It's very rare that I actually do an initial unboxing on something as valuable as this in this manner, so let's have a look. What do you think it's going to be in here? Well, it would appear that it is actually what it is supposed to be. So let's take this out of the packaging. Wow, that's in there pretty tight. So we have what appears to be an extremely heavy graphics card. That is really heavy. There is actually a sticker on there, which appears to be a genuine sticker. And it does also appear to be factory sealed with the caution label on there. So we're looking good so far. That is surprisingly heavy. Also included, we've got the usual stuff. So the quick start guide. What else have we got in here? We have a GPU support bracket. I think we're going to need that. Also, there is the 8-to-1 connector. So that is the 12-volt high power going into 3 PCI Express connections. So yeah, that is going to be pulling a lot of power. You don't have to use that. You can just use a power supply 12-volt high power or the new 12-volt 6x2 connector. And I think that is pretty much it. So let's get some of this out of the way and we'll take a closer look at the graphics card and see what condition it's in, see if it looks like it's been used at all. I'm thinking at the moment it possibly hasn't. So let's peel this off rather gently. So we do have what would appear to be the protective coating on the outer shroud, and looking at the side and also the back, so the protective backplate cover, there's a bit of plastic there. So yeah, that is basically intact. It looks absolutely brand spanking new. If this was refurbished, I would have no idea. And also looking at the back, so sometimes you get these cards come through from various sellers and they've basically taken the core out, or they've done something nasty to the card to make it not work. They've taken the important or expensive bits out, but it does appear to be there is a little cover on there, which is like the kind of void if removed thing, and that does appear to be completely intact. And like I said, this does look to be absolutely 100% brand spanking new, and it's even got the cover over the PCI Express slot there, which if I look a little bit closer, yeah, this has never been plugged into a computer. So with all that said, I think the best thing to do now is to actually plug it into my computer, namely the one behind me. We'll plug it in and make sure it actually works and do a quick bench test and see if everything is good. But at the moment, it does appear that I have got a GeForce RTX 4080 16 gig XLR8 Gaming Verto Epic X RGB triple fan for £259. Unbelievable. I'm still not too sure what is going to happen. Anyway, we're going to stop filming now. I'm going to put this into the PC and we'll do the first turn on and power up live on the camera and see how it goes. Okay, the graphics card is installed. Unfortunately, I had to remove my my capture card because this is a big boy. Anyway, it's in, it's connected up, so let's see what happens and hope there isn't magic smoke. Got some RGB. I'm actually recording this on my other PC for capture to make sure that it's actually working. It sounds like it's going to. There's a display. That is definitely a start. And there's a lot of RGB on that card. Fingers crossed. Is it going to detect it? Is it going to pick up the drivers? And will it actually work? It looks like it will. I think it's actually worked. So we're back to the Windows default resolution on the desktop. So let's see if it downloads the driver and picks it up and resizes itself. Let's go into Device Manager and see what it says. So at the moment it says Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. So let's go ahead and download the NVIDIA drivers. And we'll get the latest Game Ready driver. So we'll start installing the driver. This is just expanding the installation files. Now I am going to actually choose a clean install when the option appears, just so we can move out the drivers for the previous 4070 Super. And we want the NVIDIA app, so that's great. And I think we'll do custom, and we'll perform a clean installation. Now to just sit back and relax. Not that I can relax at the moment with my heart rate going as fast as it is. So we've got the option to restart, so let's do restart now. So there we go. The NVIDIA installer is finished and there was no errors. It still wants to restart, so we'll let it do a restart just to be on the safe side. Okay, so it works and it's passed the benchmark, well at least the preliminary one, and it's got pretty much exactly what it should get for a 4080. So I am super pleased. This is incredible. A RTX 4080 for £259. That is insane. Now obviously not everybody is going to be lucky enough to get a deal like this, but I think what this comes down to, and what I want to kind of frame this video in the way of, is what can actually be achieved with that wonderful thing which is human kindness and compassion. Now regardless of the reasons why the person who is unnamed actually passed this deal on to me, the reasons behind it obviously unknown, but I'm liking to think that it's down to human compassion and trying to help out a fellow human being, which is something in this very cutthroat and cynical world that we don't often see these days. So I am genuinely humbled, and yeah, it's an amazing thing to happen. I'm so glad it is, and the person who's done it is yeah, basically made my Christmas. So I'm really happy. I think to wrap up this video, all I'd like to say is just take a minute out of your lives and try and do something kind for your fellow human beings. It doesn't take a lot, but it can mean an absolute world of difference to some people. You can sometimes change lives or just put a smile on their face, whichever. Spread a little bit of happiness if you can, and yeah, hopefully that will be returned to you at some point in the future, if you believe in karma, that is. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this video up here before I start welling up. But again, thank you to the person who notified us of this deal. It's amazing. And again, such a fantastic deal. These things don't come along often, and they could have quite easily just swallowed up, bought the lot and took the risk. And I, for one, am very glad that they've passed on the deal. So yeah, thank you very much. And to all of our viewers and contributors, I just want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you, regardless of where you are and what you celebrate. I think it's just that time of year where we should all show a little bit of compassion towards each other and a little bit of humanity. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap this video up. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching and Merry Christmas.